Hello everyone, welcome again to International English Guru where dreams come true. I'm really delighted to have with me today 𝗦𝗁𝗂, who's got 9 each in PTE in his very first shot. Lots and lots of bucket full of congratulations to you, 𝗦𝗁𝗂.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Your big smile says it all, and I can't hide my smile anyway. So we are both very happy about it. And of course, 𝗪𝗲 ma'am, your allocated teacher. So 𝗦𝗁𝗂, there are lots of things which I wanted to share with every other student who's targeting 8 each. So let's start off with which course did you join and how long did it take you to get this beautiful mark of 90 each?
So I did an online 2 weeks course with 𝗂𝗄𝗄, and after that it just gave me all the strength to get my 9 each for my PTE for my first attempt.
Wow. Did you really think it was possible in 2 weeks' time when you joined?
Well, to be honest, I can't believe that it's actually possible, but apparently with 𝗂𝗄𝗄, every dreams will come true. So it's nothing is impossible with 𝗂𝗄𝗄.
Oh, sweet. All right. So what do you think was different about our training methodology that made something like 90 each possible in 2 weeks of training?
So I think the thing with 𝗂𝗄𝗄 is that there is a very unique method of teaching, you know, like in comparison to other review center. What they do is that they will actually tailor their strategy, and they will actually, you know, they will make it suitable for you as a student. You know, just like what I've said, it's not just plan A or plan B,
yeah.
But 𝗂𝗄𝗄 has plan A to plan Z. If A doesn't work for you, they have C, they have D, they have E up to plan Z, which is amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for being someone who's been able to see that as well. Now, 𝗦𝗁𝗂, speaking 90 on 90, and I'm sure lots of students, they would like to know, what has that helped you to hit that 90 on 90 mark in speaking? You speak very clear, you speak beautifully. Yeah. I love your speech, and all the teachers who used to mark your mock tests, they used to be like, ma'am, I love the way this boy speaks. And I'm like, yeah, he was very good at it. So, you know, apart from that, because PTE doesn't really look at how we speak, it has certain requirements. You know, it has very, very stupid things to, you know, judge you by as well, apart from your clear speech. So what all did you do to hit that beautiful mark of 90?
Practice is really important, especially for read alouds, because sometimes, you know, sometimes when we are with our friends or with our family, we used to speak with our own mother languages, but the only thing is that you gotta practice more. But just like what Anu ma'am said, with PTE there is a certain requirements for speaking. When you're doing the speaking test, it's really important to sound like you are a native speaker, not a native speaker, but you're reading in a way that people can understand you. That is really important for speaking. You have to speak very clearly. Just like what Anu ma'am said, it's really important to have that practice as well, because sometimes we get too confident and we tend to come back to speaking to our own languages at home or when we're talking to our friends. But practice is really good, and it's really important.
Practice is very important indeed. What about repeat sentence? Were you able to do every repeat sentence accurately in the exam to get the score?
Repeat sentence is really important. So the thing with repeat sentence, of course, practice with mock test is really important. Yeah. You gotta, you know, like with the strategies with 𝗂𝗄𝗄, you know, I have to thank 𝗪𝗲 ma'am as well with this. She has taught me a lot of teaching strategies in terms of how doing notes and stuff like that. So practice is really important, and you know, like listening to your allocated teacher is really important as well, because they can actually, you know, they have the experience and they can tell you what exactly works for you.
Right. So yes, I remember 𝗪𝗲 ma'am used to sometimes ask me that he's facing this problem. I'm thinking if we do something like this, that's going to help him. I'm like, yes. So, you know, she used to come up with a very different query in relation to you all the time. And I was like, this boy is up to something. All the normal things he's just pushing aside. Give me something different, you know. So that was interesting. Okay, so now comes reading, Michael. Reading is like a real devil in PTE.
Yeah.
This is a hard nut to crack. 90 in reading. What is that made it possible? What all did you do? Please don't hide anything. Share whatever you can with reading.
You know, I want to start with comparing IELTS and PTE.
Okay.
You know, with IELTS, they always say it's an intelligence test. It actually tests your knowledge.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with PTE, because with PTE you gotta come back to your foundation of you know, like when you're learning English back in the days, where you have to learn about collocation, you have to learn about the words, synonyms, vocabulary is really important as well. Just like what Anu ma'am said, I'm not gonna hide anything, but what I do is I always write something like this. These are my vocabs. Every day what I do is that every mock test that I do, if I encounter new words, I always write them down.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, we're not a native English speaker. So, some words, it's going to be very difficult for us to understand.
Yes.
But practicing writing them down, it actually helps you widen your vocabulary. It is really important. Collocation is really important as well. And of course, with the help of your allocated teacher, with them and with IAG, I think 9 is really possible with IAG. You just got to listen to the strategies that they teach you, especially with the online courses that you will get from them. It's really important to listen and refresh your mind with what Anu ma'am was saying in the lecture. I remember, you know, sometimes when you listen to this lecture, it feels like it's like a high school lecture. But the problem is it's really important because those are the foundation of PTE. Aside from IELTS, you can take IELTS, and it's true, it's an intelligence test. But with PTE, you gotta remember all those things that you've learned from before, like subject-verb agreement. Like all of those are really important. And reading with PTE is really hard. And you know, I struggled when I started with my review, but with IAG, you know, everything is possible.
Wow. You know, Michael, once in a while you come across a student who actually receives all you want to give to him, right? And by the recounts you are sharing, I have a feeling that a big part of me is going to stay with you for very long. You really imbibe those things, those extra things which I have talked about in the lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's great. That's nice to know. So everyone, when it comes to reading, you have to work on those basic things. You have to improve your vocabulary, the commonly confused words, the collocations. And not just that you do them once, you write them down, put them somewhere in your eye view, try and look at them every now and then, revise them a lot as well, try to use them in your daily life. And after all, look, you're investing in yourself. You'll see you're better than where you were when you started your training. So wait, don't just take it as PTE, take it as a self-improvement time as well. Because education is one thing no one can take away from you, stays with you. Now, Michael, next is listening. What is your tip with listening? No spelling mistake, nothing you did, no mistakes to score, you know, your 90, yeah?
Yeah. With listening, I guess the recommendation that I would, you know, suggest for you guys is to, you know, full attention. Yeah. Sometimes when you get into testing center, like you're nervous, you're anxious, you know, sometimes when you miss a question in the test, your attention will just leave it. Full attention, focus is really important for listening, because without those two, it's going to be hard to achieve your dream school.
Absolutely, yes. This is one of, and somewhere I feel that everyone living in the world today doesn't have those listening skills which used to be in the past. Now your brain, you know, even my brain, sometimes even while I'm listening to Michael, I can be going somewhere else and thinking about it. I'm like, no, I'm here. You know, so just making sure that everywhere we are, we start to focus more so that this skill develops. So focus is not something which just improves with PTE, it improves in every sphere of life. So wherever you are, try to be there, focus more there, and you'll see that thing improves, because where your attention goes, energy flows. Now, Michael, another thing I want to know is you sat the test with a new PT test format.
Yeah.
And what was your experience with the new test format, and how was your real exam experience? If you can share these two things as well, please.
So, because this is my first time to take my PTE test, 2 hours is very quick. As soon as you get in the testing room, blink of an eye, everything will be gone. So you just gotta invest with your attention, your focus. You just gotta think about all the things that you've learned from the review, because once you're in there, it just goes straight. You know, 2 hours, it will just disappear it'll feel like it's just a couple of minutes. And to, you know, like an hour difference between the old type of test and then the new one, you can actually feel that difference. As soon as you sit with the test, you will never, you know, it's just like the time just disappeared.
Right. Okay.
Really important. You know, the pressure, you will feel the pressure, but you just gotta stay focused. Focus is, you know, it's really important. Focus and your attention.
Right. Yes. So, you know, you've done the practice tests with 𝗖𝗍 where they were 3 hours long, and now we've improved them and they are now all, according to the new test format, 2 hours long. And in the exam, you sat the 2-hour one. Anywhere where you think that the old process was better of testing the student and new one's not as good, or in every sphere you believe the new one is better?
So I would say, I would say the new one is better, but other students will actually say that the old one is better, because there are pros and cons as well. With the old ones, you have a lot of room to make a little bit of mistake. But with the new test format, you gotta think that you are there to ace your test. There's no room for mistake. That's the difference between the new and the old format. With the old format, you can go there. You know, there could be seconds that you could be on cloud 9 and just, you know, miss something. It's okay. But with the new test, there's no room for mistakes.
That's so spot on. I mean, you're a very wise boy. I have to repeat that. Not many people can see this minor difference. This is a really big thing, that because the number of questions has shortened up, you have to really be perfect in each one of them. You know, one gone means a lot is gone. So you really have to aim to be 100% on them. So great pick. What was your experience with 𝗖𝗍 online training?
𝗖𝗍 online training, it's very unique. Very unique in a way that they will actually give you what you wanted. It's like when you're looking for a solution in Google, when you type something, you will have 10 options. But using 𝗖𝗍 online course, it's like you're putting filters on it, where you exactly know the solutions for the answer. And then, you know, the only % left is that your hard work as a student.
Wow. 𝗪𝗁 sat IELTS test and scored 7H, and recently sat PTE test and got his 9H. So 𝗪𝗁, if you have to recommend let's presume someone is confused, should I go IELTS, should I go PTE, right? And they're like, hey, you've taken both of them, 𝗪𝗁. Tell us, which test do you think is better, easier, faster, and why are you recommending us that?
So to the IELTS and PTE, they have their own pros and cons. You know, with IELTS, it's just like what I've said, and just like what Sir always mentioned in the lecture when I was doing my review with IELTS. IELTS is an intelligence test. You should have a lot of knowledge when you do your writing, when you do your reading. It's not just about reading something. They're both different. What I would say is that, you know, like in terms of the result, I would say PTE is a good choice, because, you know, when let's say for example you take the exam today, as soon as you finish the exam, give it a couple of hours, you have the results straight away. And then the second thing is that, you know, with the right review center, it is not impossible to get your 9H with PTE. You know, especially if you go to the center who know, you know, like with a center with experience and knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's really possible to ace your PTE exam,
Right.
to clear your PTE.
Right. That makes absolute sense. So if we sum it up, Michael is suggesting you to go for PTE.
Yeah, PTE is the best one. Less stressful review in comparison to
Less
IELTS.
stressful review. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that as well.
That if you listen to your teacher.
Ooh, yes, but there is a condition attached. To listen to your teacher.
You have to listen to your teacher, and you have to follow what they, you know, what they're teaching you.
And you have to be an international English guru.
Yeah, because if you don't, like for me, you know, I would say without IAG, you know, it's gonna be different. I could have been, you know, I could have got like 6 each if I go to a different review center, but because I've got a good result with my IELTS, you know, I gave them my trust that they can actually help me.
Yeah, right. And yeah, got 9 each, so it looks beautiful. Now, there's another very special thing I want to share with everybody. Michael got a 7 each and he came to the center. That was like pre-COVID. I mean, first phase of COVID was over, and we sat down, we enjoyed some lovely strawberry treats. And he told me he needs PTE as well. I told him, all right, let's get started. And most of the students in his place would say, yes, let's get started. It's important. It needs to be done. Let's jump into it. But here was a fresh breeze in front of me in the form of Michael, because he told me, Ma'am, I've worked very hard with IELTS. I need some rest. You know, I believe in self-care. Let me, you know, just put myself out of the situation, relax myself. When I'm feeling better, I'll come back to it. Now, he took good, how many, 8 months, 6 months to come back to it?
Yeah.
So it's 8 months of self-care. And I myself am a person who's like from one thing into another, never thinking that there is something called self-care in the world. So, you know, it was really wonderful to hear that word self-care. I've started to do a lot of it since then, Michael. Thanks for that. I'd like you to talk to others about the self-care as well.
You know, like being like having a psychology background as well, and being a clinician and a social worker, it's really important to take care of yourself. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we push ourselves so hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I do understand, because you know, I used to be an international student. I am an international student before, and I want a quick and fast result with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I do understand that you want to work on it every single time, and you just want to go.
Yes.
But self-care is really important, because once you're exhausted, no matter how hard you try to do it, your brain will not function well.
Wow.
Your brain will not able to process every single information.
That is
Self-care is really important. Self-care doesn't need to be like me, where it took me 8 months to do, you know, my PTE. Self-care could be, you know, after you review so hard today or tonight, what you can do, you know, just go out, have a good dinner, and then come back to it. Just refresh your mind. It's just like taking a nap.
Yeah.
Having a break is really important, because if you push yourself to do things, and if you make it, you know, very hard for yourself, your brain will not function well. Self-care is really important. It doesn't need to be, you know, it doesn't matter if it's 30 minutes, an hour, you know, if even a YouTube video or a funny video is a type of self-care. Or eating sweets, eating your favorite food, you know, talking to someone, talking to your family, that is self-care. You just gotta put like a short break in between, so that your mind and your brain can start fresh when you do your review. It's really important.
I love that concept. And, you know, IELTS PT test takers, no matter where you're working at it, if not anything else, I really want you to pick that one advice from him, because he's not just preaching it, he's practicing it as well. And he inspired me with it, and it really works. So if you've really done quite a good, satisfactory amount of hard work somewhere, sit back and relax, right? Rejuvenate yourself, and then pick up something else. Don't be going from one thing to the second to the third, because of course your energy levels are going to drop, and your performance in the next action will not be as good as it could be after this little phase out of self-care. So that was great. Thank you so much for sharing that amazing tip, and keep practicing it. I know you will. But yes,
I will do a lot of self-care.
Stick on to, yeah, definitely stick on to it. I think we cannot come to a close without talking about the allocated teacher. So, you know, with International English Gurus online course, it's not just the online lessons, but every student gets his own personalized plan and gets a personal mentor. So that mentor knows the strengths and weaknesses of the student, knows how to get the student out of a problem wherever a student is stuck. And I saw that thing helping most in your case, because you were a bit of an unusual student who did things quite differently to others. Yeah. And everywhere a new door had to be opened up for you, that okay, if this is not working, come on, this way, right? So please share your experience of your allocated teacher.
You know, with this success, of course, I really want to thank 𝗪𝗲 ma'am, because, you know, I remember this one time where I messaged 𝗪𝗲 ma'am and she didn't reply, and then I messaged Anu ma'am, and then Anu ma'am said she's on sick leave because she was sick. But after a couple of hours, even though she's sick, she rang me, and you know, she asked me if I have any questions or anything like that. That is the good thing about my allocated teacher, or with any teachers in IAG. You know, they always go extra mile. It's not just, you know, I am teaching this student because I have to. You know, they teach you like you are their own kid. That's the good thing about IAG. It is not, for me, it is not a review center. It's more of a home for me, because this is where, like, I found a home where I have my family who actually believes in me and listen to my thoughts and will work around my thoughts and will work around with what I wanted to learn and what I wanted to hear. So that is the good thing about my allocated teacher with 𝗪𝗲 ma'am, and I really want to commend her on that as well, because every time I ask her a question, she will always say, okay, if this is not working for you, explain it to me so that I will be able to understand where you're coming from, and then we will both find a solution to it, which is very wonderful. With you know, in other review center, you won't be able to find that. You know, in other review center, if you say I have this question, they will tell you, if you don't follow this, then you got to find your own solution. With IAG, it's very different. You know, like, I want you guys to consider this. Like, I want you to consider IAG as a home, not just a review center, because here you'll find your parents, you know, you will find your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, who will willing to go extra mile and give you that support you needed. Not just a support for the review or the tricks or the tips that you needed, but they will give you that emotional support, psychological support that will give you confidence. You know, that simple confidence can actually help you clear your PTE exam. And here it's a wholesome, you know, it's like a whole package. It's not just you paid for it. You will get the tips, you will get the tricks, you will get the templates. It's not just about that.
Your words mean so much.
They are your parents. They will treat you like their own kid. We're family. We're family in here. That's the good thing about IAG.
You're family in here, absolutely. And you know, thanks for seeing that. Your words mean so much. I'm gonna make sure every single teacher listens to you today. I'm gonna forward it to 𝗪𝗲 sir as well, because he doesn't go about listening to everything. I would like him to listen to this, because this is indeed coming from the heart and it's being received from the heart. Thank you so much for these words, Michael. They mean so much.
I want to share this because this has been stuck in my head when I did my exam. I rang Anu ma'am, and you know, I wanna see her on the day of my exam, and I want to get her blessing before I get into the testing room, into the testing center. And I don't think that other review center will do this. She told me a story when she used to send her kid to school, and she sang a song for me that I can do it. You know, she's like a mom who will tell you that you can do it, even though you're actually doubting yourself, if you can, but having that one person who believes in you actually makes things different.
Wow,
I remember that, ma'am. And
you can do it. Yes, you can. Yes,
huge different. While taking the exam, I always remind myself there is one person believing in me, so I have to do my best because that person believes in me. I have to believe in myself too. You are the actual guru, you know. No, you know, we can't find anyone like you as well. Without you, it's gonna be impossible to do this. It's like, you know, having mom.
Oh God just gives us courage and makes us continue doing what we're doing to our best and help.
Passionate, very passionate. Very passionate.
Thank you so much, Michael. I really don't think I can ask you any other question. You made me speechless right now, you know. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. You look like a tiny little boy, a little brother of everyone, and still so much ahead, huh? All right, Michael, thank you so much for your time today. I'm glad I spoke to you. I'm glad you came about, and you know, those words, I'll carry them in my heart for a long time. I'm sure they cannot go away. They're, you know, when we say something with a depth, it goes and hits the depth.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, you go about, live your life. The world's open and world's welcoming.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the help of International English Guru. This is where dreams come true.
This is where dreams come true. Thanks. All right, keep smiling. May this smile just grow wider, and God give to you reasons to smile all the more.
Thank you, ma'am.